This is a HeadGum podcast.
This week on the program, did everybody get a good look at that red diaper? It's Zardoz. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Shadak.
Eric Siska.
Crush Cobbin.
And we hate movies.
The only one that didn't do one.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to We Hate Movies. Thank you for tuning into our fine program. As always, if you're new to the show because you fucking love Sean Connery so much, we're a comedy show where we take an innocent look at some movies over the years and make fun of them regardless of how we actually feel about them. This week on the program, Zardoz from 1974, directed by John Boorman.
Let's all hold up on the innocent talk with this movie. Let's just back the fuck up on the innocent talk.
This movie kind of rules, and John Boorman kind of rules as well.
I was realizing watching this, I've seen very few John Boorman movies.
This was my first, man.
Oh, really? You guys should watch Excalibur. I feel like it has a bit in common with this movie in terms of nudity and just his, like, John Boorman. Like, you can see, like, you know, I don't throw around the A word a lot.
Asshole?
No, you do.
Auteurish, flair is really great. You guys saw Deliverance too, though. So
I've never seen Deliverance.
Oh, really?
Oh,
No.
wow.
Really good.
So I've seen like his like weird 70s period because I've seen Deliverance. I've now seen Zardoz, which was 2 years after Deliverance. And then 3 years after this movie was Exorcist II: The Heretic, which, my goodness, that's a bad movie.
And he did Point Blank as well, right? The Lee Marvin.
Yes, which I've always wanted to see that.
Amazing movie.
Great.
Absolutely incredible. And he did Hell in the Pacific. It's just Lee Marvin versus Toshiro Mifune. And am I saying that right?
Mifune, I believe.
Yeah, Mifune. It's just them two on an island fighting.
What?
It's incredible. It's fucking
Jesus.
incredible.
That sounds
man.
awesome.
I mean, I was kind of floored by this because this has got like your classic like bad movie earmark. Like, it's one of the worst Razzies and all this stuff. And I mean, like,
the fucking Razzies, man. Yeah, I was reading that trivia.
I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was really good. I mean, it's not great. I don't think it works all the way, but I love what it's trying to do, and I love what it's doing as well.
Steve, can I say, I don't make a plea often, but I really do think we could take over the Razzies and make it a 5-star service.
I agree.
We can make it a global brand
should.
that's not this fucking joke that it's been for the fucking last, 2, 3, 5 decades.
Plus, we would take out all the homophobia and transphobia that's all over them fuckers.
Seriously, It's outrageous. We need to muscle our way in there. And for years, we've been talking about being pro-mafia, and maybe we can find some common ground there.
Yes.
Get a crew to muscle for us, take out the Razzies.
I definitely now want this to happen, so I get a business card that says like Executive Director, the Razzies on it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That guy from Sing Sing who was in the mafia who sent us the letter.
Yeah.
Send
See
us
what
another
that guy
letter.
can do?
What,
Yeah.
what are you up to these days? Are you still a fan? If so,
Exactly.
we have some place for money.
And note to any federal agents listening, this is a joke, satire, parody.
Yes.
But it's like the Razzies is like fucking basic ass bad movies. Like, we're not talking about like, you know, movies that are barely released. Like, those deserve Razzies,
Right,
not like
yeah.
movies like this that are trying to do something that, you know, maybe fall short of the mark depending on where you set your mark and or
Right.
are somewhat incoherent like this film might be.
Yeah.
But at least it's like, you know, it's doing something. There's art here.
It is doing something. It's a thing that like, and it's a real trap when you're dealing with science fiction specifically, is that idea of like when your concept is so big but the budget is just not there, right? Like, they made this movie for like $1 million. 200,000 of that went to Connery.
Goddamn right it did.
You're gonna fucking pay all your pay. You want to put me in a diaper? That's gonna be 200,000.
Did you read the trivia about like fucking Connery was like coupon clipping on this goddamn trip. He was driving himself to and from the production, and he told Boorman to give him half of the budget they had for the driver in the car.
Well, if I'm driving, I should get paid. You're, first of all, you're saving money. It's half the price. But then if I'm driving, I should get paid.
The rest of it can go to your weird cock movie. Anyway, and he stayed with the fucking Boorman family while he was there. And like, you just know he was plowing Boorman's wife every night.
Probably, but at least he offered to pitch in rent money at the end of the production.
I don't know. The Irish hotel market is garbage. I mean, I'll take a bath on these Irish hotels. Listen, Boorman, you've got a guest house. I'll pay you 50 shillings a week or whatever the fuck you're worth.
All right, Boorman, look, you got one or two options here. You let me in that guest house for the 3 months we're filming this weird penis movie, or I'm sleeping in your bed.
Oh, Boorman, let me ask you, are you a swinger?
Yeah, now.
Anyone read that, who the first choice of Zed was supposed to be? And like, it was Burt Reynolds, and he
what's this Zardoz guy about? What kind of car does he drive?
What kind of car does Zardoz
He agreed in some way, shape, or form, and I was like, I think they sent him the costume. He's like, oh yeah, I'm sick. Yeah, I got a bad cough, Boorman.
Hear that? I swallowed a piece of gum and I just keep coughing. So.
John, what's this about a wedding dress? I'm gonna say no about that, John.
I'm surprised Connery didn't walk at that, dude. I have to say that was pretty surprising.
And by the way, speaking of like the budget constraints and stuff, if you want to see Boorman go wild with a big budget like Excalibur, I have to say it again, really cool. The whole King Arthur story, including the stuff you forgot.
Is that the one with Richard Gere?
No, that's Last Night, which actually has Sean Connery in it.
Or is it First Night?
First Night.
First Night. What did I say?
I think it's oh God, what's his name? Dean Keaton.
Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah.
Yes, he is in that. I don't know if he is.
I don't think he's the main feller.
Nigel Terry is playing King Arthur. Oh, you got Helen Mirren as Morgana.
Yeah,
it's a really fun movie.
It is good, and it just makes me think of Zardoz, because of reading about that and how he was adapting Lord of the Rings, which would have been fucking fantastic. John Boorman 70s weird Lord of the Rings wouldn't be maybe as, I don't know, accurate or whatever as the Peter Jackson ones, which are good, but like I would have loved to see a 70s weird live action one.
Yeah, I would have really loved to have seen, because those LOTR movies, obviously great, but the cocaine that would have been involved in John Boorman's Lord of the Rings, that really would have been something. Now that
like a chasel full of it.
I mean, there would have been nudity too, for sure.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Like, Tolkien would have been alive and be like, well, maybe not. Maybe not, John.
What if a tree bit had a dick? If we just saw his dick swinging when he brings them around, wouldn't that be good?
Which I will say, which I really like about this movie, and maybe I like it because it's so rare now, which is like sci-fi where sex exists. It's not exactly porn-y, but like it acknowledges that people have genitals and do stuff with them. You know what I mean?
Yes,
which most sci-fi does not, or, I don't know, most entertainment period does not do anymore. You know what I mean? Like, sex is something mommies and daddies do behind closed doors. Like, no, this is something that people do when kind of it drives society in certain ways.
I mean, this is really indebted to dick art. There's all these pictures of erotic art throughout this movie of like, and like pictures of etchings and walls of like fucking, people having mouth sex with each other.
Jackie Treehorn was on the set decoration or some shit.
Log jamming with John Boorman.
Hey, John, I got the shits. I can't do your boner movie.
Yeah.
Did you?
Especially because you're not going to let me show my hog.
Did you guys hear the other person who turned this down?
No, who?
Richard Harris.
Oh, wow.
That would have been something.
Oh, no, chap. No, I won't be wearing that. No.
Exactly.
No, chap. No, neither the diaper nor the dress. No, chap. No.
It is pretty crazy that he's just like shirtless almost this entire film.
Pretty much shirtless. Yeah. I mean, he's got like the bandolero with like the shotgun shells on it for a while there, but that comes off once he's captured. Chris, I was just going to ask you. You're a big John Boorman head.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a bit of a challenge, but because I feel like this is a movie like people see that title, people have seen the red diaper.
Sure.
Nobody's seen this movie, so is there a way to simply distill what this is, or not so much?
I would say the easiest way to do it is a brutal killer sneaks his way into a society of very bored immortals who have created a Walking Dead-esque system of camps. Like there's the seniles, there's the what are the apathists?
Yeah, the apathetics.
The apathetics.
Apathetics, and like when he enters, he discombobulates the whole fucking thing because he can get a hard on.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Yeah, I'm gonna mix it up and scrap it up with this.
It's kind of like a reverse Matrix in a way.
Yeah, I can see that. He goes
Yeah.
in the system and destroys it.
I was getting a lot of. I think the Wachowskis maybe dug this movie, like just the people in the bags we see throughout this movie, and like if one of these Eternals, these immortal people in the vortex, which is like under the dome, if they die, they get reincarnated as a baby in a bag to the point of which they will be regenerated, and the titular Zardoz passes away and comes back in that fashion.
Yes,
right.
I really have to say the stone head effect is incredible.
It's really great.
It
really
was freaking
incredible.
me out, man. I have to say, it was fucking freaking me out, and like, it's a practical effect. It looks awesome. It's weird as hell. Yeah,
but maybe we're doing John Boorman a couple too many favors because he does start this. That's not the beginning. The beginning is this fucking Arthur Frayne Zardoz and like capital P pretentious opening of like, oh, has everyone gotten their seats? My name is Arthur Frayne. You might call me Zardoz someday. And like, it needs to be text. It's because apparently Fox was like, I can't make heads or tails of your movie. You need to have something to draw the audience in, and this ain't
it's
it.
It's a weird, like theatrical, like Our Town or something.
Exactly.
Totally.
Look, you can't just enjoy the movie. You have to have narrative self-awareness.
And it's also weird too, because like he's running his mouth, and it starts sounding like when Orson Welles would get off on a drunken rant, because he's like, "Oh yes, I'm Zardoz. I'm a fake god and a magician. Merlin is my hero, and I am the puppet master." And I was like, "Shut up, Zardoz."
I also used to manage a Baskin Robbins, and I also invented tube socks.
I'm thrice divorced.
I mean, yeah, I want the Zardoz. Hey, Zardoz, how's it go? Who are your guys?
Oh, let's see. Merlin and the amazing Jonathan.
Oh, of course, God.
The greatest magician of all.
Yeah, because
God.
it's and it's one thing to be like, okay, look, we just need something to draw us in, and he does tell him that we're both Arthur Frayne and Zardoz, and he's kind of a fake god, but then he ends it off with like this thing where it's like, oh, and I created these people. Which god created you, audience? And I'm like, dude, I want to walk out of the theater right now.
Yep. Yeah, I don't need this call and response shit, Zardoz.
It's funny. Like, what's weird? I rewatched this opening after watching the movie last night, and I feel like the proper way to watch this movie obviously is at night with substances.
Absolutely.
But
I was stone cold sober, and I honestly don't think it helped this time around.
and I was just like watching this. I was like, like fact checking, and it's like Zardoz is he's right on the money in this intro, because it's like he did create these people. Could we come to find that like he allowed Connery's father and father's father to breed this eugenics thing because Zardoz he wants his reality to end. He wants the vortex to end, and he was engineering Sean Connery to come in there and bust it up.
Yeah. He's the one who like plants the bomb that is Sean Connery playing Zed in this movie.
Well, what's interesting is the studios saw this. Like, imagine you're at Fox in the 70s and you're watching this movie, and your big note at the end of watching the first base, it's like, maybe we should have a floating head in the beginning that explains everything that happens here.
You got me with all right. The erection drawing, the whole 24-minute diamond sequence, phenomenal stuff. I wouldn't change a thing. I would change possibly a guy in a King Tut kind of garb just jawing at you for like 3 minutes while you get your fucking popcorns together. That's what I think this movie needs.
I'll tell you what, you could keep the floating head. All right, it just has to be a person there telling us the stuff. Okay.
Look, I'm not. Looking at me, John. I am not going to complain about a movie that has Charlotte Rampling running around with barely clothing on. Trust me, I'm with you on that. But we need the floating head.
Look, Bori, you know I'm your friend. Listen, that talking head, I love it. I love it. Here's a little tip, though. Maybe you should clearly use a marker to draw fake facial hair on the actor.
I mean, that's something that really gets me too. Is that like him? Because I guess like the idea is these Eternals are bored. Is that like, oh, I'm a pirate today, and he like puts a little monocle on.
Yeah, he fell asleep
He just
at a
got into
party.
the black mark.
I woke up and a bunch of wieners were on my face.
Oh, Zardoz, it's hard to worship you with a big cock on your face.
You think this is weird? I used to pretend I was a horse for like a decade.
Zardoz, you're mad.
You're totally mad.
But I mean, this head does fucking rule the school, though, and like that's because when the movie starts, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah,
It's just
it
this
really
head
does get into
By
it.
the way,
zipping
we
around.
we don't get that scroll, but we do get the date, which is pretty cool. It's 2293.
And the text for this was interesting because in the whole line, it's the whole thing when you first see it is a film by John Boorman set in 2293. I thought that was kind of cool, I have to say.
It was pretty
I
neat.
like that.
And so the head shows up to the beach. There's all these exterminators who are all the Red Diaper Brigade, and the one of the first lines, if not the first line, this thing says is "Guns are good, the penis is evil," and I'm like,
Yeah.
you have my undivided attention right now. Sorry,
I mean,
guys.
this is predicting, right? That's America in 2021.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking bad's killing's good.
Yeah.
That's got it. Yes.
And- And these,
Boorman is a prophet. I'm going to go with it.
these exterminators, I guess not so much the costume, but just like riding around on the horses and shooting shit. Gave me like Planet of the Apes vibes with this too.
Yes.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely also like, there's one part where, they're like killing people on a beach. Also, they definitely like ride up on horseback next to a woman and throw a net on her. That's like very Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like they all offer food to this big godhead thing, and then it kind of shoots guns out of it
It
like
just
it's a fucking
vomits it.
slot machine.
Yeah,
Dude.
I do love that. This is amazing because it really is. It's the energy of like a radio giveaway contest. Like all these fucking idiots with red Zardoz helmets on that they gave away free when they entered for the ticket, and then they like shooting out like fucking t-shirts out of a cannon. These fucking bullets and fucking rifles and shotguns and all kinds of shit.
Missed opportunity to show us like an armory or something in the vortex, or how these guns are being made or stored stored from human history, because they store a bunch of statues and clothing,
right.
etc. So
Right.
I do. I mean, here's my question, because I like Eric. I actually rewatched like the first 35 minutes of this morning, because again, you're supposed to watch this movie at 10.
yeah,
Starting at 10:30 p.m. is the right attitude.
but I think repeat viewings helps appreciate this movie, because it's ambitious and there's so much going on that's maybe doesn't quite connect. But if you keep rewatching it, you'll get there.
No, I think you're totally right. I mean, because when I finished this at like 11:30 this morning, unfortunately, I had to go right to the Wikipedia and I read the entire thing, because I was like, I pretty much get it, but I know that this is definitely a movie you have to see
that
more
part
than
went
once.
over my giant floating head.
My question is, though, when Connery picks up this really awesome gun, this like I don't know, Colt 40, whatever the hell, handgun, Magnum or whatever, and he points at, is this a sly James Bond reference?
Oh,
I don't think it's sly whatsoever.
Yeah.
Steve.
Okay,
It's
all
a
right,
clunky
yes.
one when he shoots at the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, but it's more aggressive, and it is showing you like kind of what this character's about, which is killing and murder, and like
it most
he's got
definitely
a
serves
snarl.
it most definitely serves a function in the movie, but like there are other ways that you could just showcase that without him shooting directly at the camera, and that's why it's a sloppy Bond reference.
I mean, is this the movie he did right, but after Diamonds Are Forever? And
yeah, Diamonds Are Forever, I think, was 72, and he just could not get work after that movie.
And then he doesn't do it again until Never Say Never Again, right?
Correct.
Okay, like, so yeah, I can see it as like a bitter, like if you're bitter about it, and this movie kind of is dealing with masculinity in a more critical way than Bond does, I could see him being pissed off and seeing that as this is a vehicle for that.
And I mean, like, you know, I'll say it right now. And I mean, like, just watching, this is our third in the Sean Gone series that I've watched this month. And, you know, we did Goldfinger, Never Say Never Again. And this, no, not necessarily.
You only live twice.
You only live twice. I always do that. But it's there's a huge difference between engaged Connery and not engaged Connery. And this is definitely engaged Connery.
Yep.
Yeah, he seems like pretty curious in this movie. Like, I have no fucking clue what's going on. I'm wearing a diaper. I'm firing guns and riding horses and shit. Okay.
And Boorman's kid was in the bathroom all morning. I couldn't even fucking shave properly.
Listen,
Boorman, get that kid out of the fucking bathroom.
Hey, Boorman, how about this? How about this for a scene? I assault these women on the beach.
Yeah.
Boorman, you live around here, right? Where's the local whorehouse? I don't want to bring a lady back here to your beautiful abode, but I need to get it.
You're gonna have to tell me, or I'm gonna visit your mother's.
I've spent your wife already, John. Tell me where the whorehouse.
Shake it out of you.
Do you want me stooping prostitutes at your mother's house?
I'll do it on your front lawn, John.
You know what? Here's a quick question. Is that giant head, is that available, if you know what I mean? What if I took some ladies inside that giant head and gave them the what for?
You know, it'd make a great dinner party conversation. I could talk about getting head while being in a head.
Yes.
I mean, the head does rule. We've talked about it a little
great.
bit. It's so cool.
Reminded me a little bit of Olmec from Nickelodeon's Legends of the Hidden Temple.
There's a little Terry Gilliam Monty Python illustration to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I could see it showing up in Time Bandits or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
for
totally.
sure. Yeah. I'm just now imagining Connery in Monty Python. A little bit. I'm not the knight who shaved fucking knee.
I can't stand working with these fucking guys. What? None of this is funny. None of it.
Yes, the parrot is dead. So what?
None of you are the Spanish Inquisition.
And yes, I did fucking expect yous. Yeah, I just love the Zardoz announcement. Go forth and kill. And then, like Steve said, like this, the gun and ammo vomiting is just so hilarious. And then it's great. We get back to this cloud. Like it wouldn't have been appropriate in the movie, but in my head while I was watching this, because it goes back to the cloud just floating around while more credits go by. If you put in like everybody's talking at me, or just like some ridiculous like folk song.
Yeah, or that, or maybe like some like Wicker Man original B-side, like Golly Rigs and all the rigs, all the kinds of, like, just like as we're majestically flying through the sky could be something.
Penis rigs and cock rigs and ball rigs and pubis rigs.
Or because you need some traveling music, right? Be like, we got a great big convoy coming down the...
Dude, that's a good question. Does the giant head have a horn?
Oh, I think so, man.
Move it or lose it.
Flock of birds, get out of the way. So I guess this is probably what the original start of the movie is, because Connery is sort of like, oh, Steve, your favorite thing. He's technically a stowaway.
He emerges from cat litter, it seems.
Dude, I think it's the grain.
You really got to change this every 3 days, or else. This is disgusting.
Look at all the turds in this. Look at them. Look what I have to sit in, Boorman. A bunch of turds.
Eric, do you ever find Sean Connery in your cat litter or no?
No, I haven't. I should go check though after we're done here.
My bones bury me in Eric Shishka's cat litter.
Although it does, like, his chest hair does look like something a cat would like to do, like the steps on.
Yep.
Like,
Big time.
curl its nails around a little bit.
I
It's
gotta
like it's
say,
a thick ass carpet, dude. Yeah.
he is a specimen in this film. Holy mackerel.
He's back in shape. I mean, it's funny enough. We're talking, I remember on the You Only Live Twice episode, that movie is 1967. There's definitely, a paunch situation going on. He definitely was not excited for that movie. But I feel like, regardless of how excited you are to be in Zardoz, when the answer is you are going to be running around with no shirt on and just wearing a red bikini diaper the whole movie, you're gonna do some crunches before bed every
Absolutely,
night.
you have to. And by the way, I love the long hair too and the crazy mustache. This is my quarantine look.
John, it looks like you need a alpha male in this role. I can provide for you that, John.
He looks like, and I mean, like, this is gonna our X-Men fans who are not in this room will enjoy. He looks like Sebastian Shaw, the leader of the Hellfire Club. Like, he would have made an awesome 1970s Sebastian Shaw. I'll leave it at that. Nobody cares, but three nerds are like, yay!
Well, I recognize the character at least, right? That's who Kevin Bacon played in First Class.
Yes, and he doesn't have like the long flowy hair, the long like kind of pulled back hair that you want in the character, which is
I see.
what Connery's kind of rocking here, which I love.
Yeah, you want more of
Totally.
a cult leader look rather than like businessman, which is Bacon's look.
So he's like kind of he comes out of the seeds. It's like the wheat that they grow for Zardoz in exchange for the guns. Spoiler alert, the rich immortal people inside the vortex use it to bake green bread. Okay. So he pops out of the seeds. He's looking around, and the inside of this head here is filled with a bunch of skulls and like vacuum sealed frozen people. It is certainly something else.
Looks like they're from the Blade Warehouse. It's,
Yes, it does.
It's so insane. And like Sean Connery, Zed is just like sniffing them. Like, oh, can I open it and touch it?
Yeah. What does this one taste like?
And meanwhile, that one Fox executive is just watching this opening night, like, you know what? Thank God I had that fucking idea about the talking floating head in the beginning, or else everyone would have been launched.
Now we're all following it easily.
Look, I don't often say better than Godfather, but better than Godfather. Do you see these plastic wrapped women?
Get ready to eat shit, Paramount. Here comes Zardoz, you fucking Godfather. All right.
I do love that he shoots Zardoz in the back here. How do you shoot Zardoz in the back? What if you miss?
Oh, and Zardoz's whole thing is like, all this is for nothing. Well, because it seemed like now my rewatch this morning, I'm like, okay, so Zardoz was breeding Sean Connery to come in and invade. He would have helped him. This was all part of the plan. And
Yes.
instead he got shot. So then now Sean Connery, when he gets to the vortex, has to kind of impress and ingratiate himself with these rich know-nothing idiots, the Untitleds or whatever.
Right. And so, the head sort of lands outside of this Irish country house.
Hey, Zardoz, how's you fallen? You got instructions on this fucking thing or what?
To fucking parallel park a floating head.
How do you do a K-turn with a fucking bearded head?
Can't even believe I ain't got a single fucking mirror on this thing, Zardoz. It's ridiculous.
Do you even put fuel in it? What the fuck?
Which one is the blinker here? Can I get the right ear blinking so I could make this turn?
How about the air conditioning? Because it smells like fucking vacuum sealed people in here. It's
Also,
disgusting.
what's the access code to some of these vacuum sealed ladies, Zardoz?
Zardoz, the radio's broken and the high eighth is not working.
I have just one question. How do you clean all the dead birds from inside the mouth off? Do you have a mop in here somewhere?
Yeah, that'd be a problem. And I'm kind of imagining him like the dude, like smoking a joint, banging the top of his car, banging the top of his head while listening to Creedence a bit.
Absolutely, dude, that would be fucking great. Oh my god. Yeah, like you would feel, you're traveling pretty fast. I mean, this head's not going at warp speed, but it's going through the sky. Yeah, like the bugs and the birds and what. Hey, Zardoz, you got some windshield wipers or what? It's disgusting in here.
He swallows a fucking June bug or something.
Does it just land flat on the ground, or I got like a fucking landing gear? I got a deal. Shouldn't have killed that man before he taught me how to drive the head.
Oh no, you should have pressed the red button. It releases the shoulders, which allows the head to gracefully hit the floor.
That would have been interesting to me yesterday.
So he gets to this country estate, and like no one's really around, so he's kind of like poking around this house and everything. He finds like, I love the scene where he goes and he finds that little grow up that they have going on here. That was pretty sweet. Some
I
sick
like,
hydro happening.
Well, I like all these little bubbles that are very good for outside dining these days. I got a real vibe of like, we won't let homeless people set up tents, but we're a restaurant, and here's a cute little bubble that you could have a dinner in.
I see those things on the street, dude. I want to throw my own fucking feces at them.
Yeah.
I want to take a shit in my hand in the street and throw it at those things.
Don't you just want to pop them?
You do. You definitely
all
do.
the time.
I want to pop them with my shit.
Shouldn't they?
That's all I want to
Shouldn't
do.
they be popped? Isn't that the whole point of outdoor?
All right, you know that should be the new rule. Is you do you can erect those structures, but they all have to be Zardoz heads. So you're looking
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm into this.
It's a city of Zardoz heads.
dude, eating inside of a Zardoz head, sign me the fuck up.
Dude, you get a free AR-15.
It's a fucking Alabama special right there, dude. Dinner and a gun.
Now, Eric, you watched this again this morning. My question was: is he because it's a weird how the movie kind of structures itself. You don't know what his deal is at all until about 50 minutes into the film.
Who's Zed or Zardoz?
Zed. And is he playing dumb, or is he actually learning through? You know what I mean? Like that's something that
I think it's a little bit of both, but the vibe I got was that he was playing dumb, and him and this selective breeding that Zardoz had done, like he was man is getting smart again, and now it's a threat to the vortex.
Yeah, I think he's kind of playing possum here, Steve, because there are those flashbacks where it's revealed that Zardoz, or whatever the guy's name, who's
Arthur Frayne.
Arthur Frayne,
yeah,
like gave Connery like access to books in that library.
Right. He knows how to read.
That flashback sequence, which we could talk about now, right? I mean, we're talking about it now. We're talking about it now.
I think it's a hard movie to talk through because there's just a lot of whatever.
It's hard. Yeah, you're right. It's hard enough to fucking watch.
And this flashback sequence almost reminded me of those moments towards the end of Dark City, where you get all the exposition of what actually happened.
Yes.
Yeah. It's weird though, because in Dark City, I always felt like that was too little too late. But in this movie, I was like, well, better late than never.
I kind of appreciated it.
Well, I mean, it's funny. I mean, he learns how to read through Goodnight Moon or whatever.
Yes, that's what's crazy about it. It's and then I found. No, that's not even a Sean Connery voice. I can't. My God, where is it? I got to look for it. But he finds a library and he just reads the entire thing. He just picks it up and he figures it out. And he reads all the books. He reads all the books.
I feel like Arthur Frayne is Zed, it might be good to get away from the James Patterson once in a while. There's a lot of reference books here I kind of want you to dig into.
No. This man can write a mystery like I've never seen.
I got to tell you, I've learned more from my baby's first bathroom than I've read any other book in this place.
And I read an interesting book about a clown named Pennywise. And all these other books and whatever Maine is, let's never go there, Zardoz.
Hey, Zardoz, guess what I just learned when I was reading today? Everybody poops.
Did you know that Bette Midler has over 20 books that she calls memoirs?
There's a lot of books about architecture over here, Zed. I really would like you to look at.
Hey, Zardoz, let me ask you a question. Where's Waldo?
Oh, Jesus, that's not even reading.
Found him.
Shooting the book.
I spy with my little eye.
Oh, boy. Oh, dear. This is...
Oh, you can't hide on the beach, Waldo.
Oh, hey, Waldo. Nice try hiding in ancient Egypt.
Oh, now they're doing dirty pool, Zardoz. That guy's dressed exactly like Waldo.
I'd just like you to hide at the Taj Mahal.
What we have here, the Star Wars Essential Guide to Characters?
Hey, Zardoz, guess what? I just finished another page turner. This book had no words in it. I just had to make my eyes go blurry and stare until a picture came up.
Oh, fantastic, Zed. I'm glad that I'm a fucking immortal. This is going to take forever.
Your magic won't work on me now, Zardoz. I have the power of the magic eye.
I also took in Michael Chabon's Telegraph Avenue. Okay, not much.
Absolutely correct, Zed.
Is that the one where it's like the pseudo Sherlock Holmes continuation?
No, that's
Okay.
this Telegraph Avenue's him doing record store owners in San Francisco. Sounds a lot better than it is.
Oh, that's too bad.
Well, you've never heard of a book called High Fidelity, right? Ever, right?
Hey, Zardoz, man, I'm getting through Nick Hornby, and it's a hoot.
Hey, Zardoz, I just finished another Hornby page turner. Let me ask you this. Top 5 Bowie albums.
Now let me ask you, Zardoz, do you know how to be good?
Okay, top 5 breakups. Okay, the woman I sexually assaulted on the beach. The woman I sexually assaulted in the field.
Oh, the one in the mountains. I forgot about that one.
That is the one knock on this movie. I mean, it is a bit rapey.
It's incredibly rapey. It's misogynistic, but it's like so bold with it. It's sort of interesting. I think maybe that's a privileged position of me to say that, but at the very least, like watching it, it's like it's so forward and so weird. It's just sort of like, whoa.
I mean, these people are called the Brutals. I think Boorman was trying to go like super what he would think is realistic if society crumbled into nothingness without education, etc.
It's at least not super graphic with it, but we're talking about it an awful lot.
Yeah,
Quite a bit.
It's there, and it's like something that you would still get. I think everything Boorman is trying to say without showing that.
Mm-hmm.
I do love while he's searching around this house, probably like one of my top 5 laughs of this movie.
Top 5 laughs.
Is Sean Connery getting spooked by the Jack in the Box?
At least he wants to shoot it. It rules.
He does, dude. You ever see a guy point a gun at a Jack in the Box? Yes, once.
He picks up the diamond ring, which is kind of like just an all-knowing computer, or this, I guess, is a connection to the tabernacle. So anything he says, it now like is connecting. It's like he says like food, meat, and then he sees another big laugh I got again this morning, which is this big ham hock he tries to grab.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right out of the air when it's just projecting an image of it. And do we explain what the tabernacle is for the folks at home?
No, we have not.
I guess it's like an AI designed by one of the people who led the Eternals or Immortals or whatever they're called into the vortex, and it is the vortex, and they've trained themselves to not remember how to disable it so that they can live forever, whether they want to or not.
But also vortexes are like the names of the houses. Like they go through. You have the hilarious thing is it's literally grocery lists for each vortex house is what's on the tabernacle when he reads it. It's like 5 baked beans, 17 hot dogs for the cookout,
and it keeps saying like that list is for Vortex 1. This is for Vortex 3. I think the movie is centered in Vortex 4. If I was
that was my question.
Attention correctly.
Are these in like Judge Dredd parlance, like mega cities? Like Vortex 1 is all that we're seeing, or is it like or is he just walking through all these vortexes right now? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no, I think it's a combo of like what you and Eric both said, because Eric made the Under the Dome reference, and I think like what you said, Steve, the various like houses maybe.
Okay,
and then it all makes up the larger like vortex community or something.
It's confusing because I guess the vortex itself is one thing. So it's like you got New York City in New York State, and it's what is it? Is it New York County in Manhattan?
It is New York County here in Manhattan.
I think that's there. You go. So it's like, wait, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair.
it's a space and time turducken.
Right.
But yeah, so he's walking around. It is also kind of hilarious because Arthur Frayne has some sort of message or whatever on his machine, and he's like, "Oh fuck, Zardoz is home. I better hightail it."
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
But then he gets he gets caught almost immediately by this woman May, who is not Charlotte. There's two women in this woman, two prominent film characters in this movie. One is Charlotte Rampling, and one is not.
That's right. And actually, yeah, it's this other woman who's playing May, who I checked her IMDb. She doesn't even have a photo. I don't know that she really did much.
Sara Kestelman's her name.
Yes, and then Charlotte Rampling is playing Consuela, which seems a bit off, but okay.
Whatever, Zardoz.
I just went to her IMDb, Sara Kestelman, and she was in Listomania, the Ken Russell movie, which is fantastic. So
very good movie.
There's that at least.
That's pretty cool.
When she's introduced here, she's wearing something. It looks like she's about to like scrub in with the Mantle twins from Dead Ringers.
Yeah,
she's got this fucking frock on that's like all red and is very ominous. And like it doesn't really prepare you for like the very I will say very like airy clothing that's going on after this.
Oh, everybody in the vortex is wearing something that breathes, dude. Don't even worry about it.
It's kind of cool because again, I only watched the first half hour again, but like when you watch it and kind of know what's going on, you realize at least in this scene that Connery is playing it where he's like, "Oh, I don't know how I got here. What? Like, you know, when you're first watching it, you're not sure. You're just like, I have no idea what anything is.
Right.
But watching it again, you're like, he's like kind of tricking her.
Yeah. It's like it's a twisty turny movie in that regard because you just think it's like, oh, a dumb ape man somehow got in there.
Yes,
Doesn't really is not aware of his surroundings, which you buy because you see society has crumbled.
And May is like freaking out at him and saying like, you know, how did you get into the vortex? You know, where is Alan, or I keep forgetting Arthur Zardoz his name here. Yeah. You know, what'd you do to him? How'd you get in, you know, through the vortex or whatever? So like from that conversation, you start realizing, oh, there's like maybe, and it turns out to be true, like a vague force field situation here.
Listen, last night, me and your friend Arthur went out for some drinks. She's like, listen, I'm going to go on vacation. Take my house for the weekend. Grab my, you don't even borrow my giant head. It'll take you right over there.
He didn't tell me how to drive it, though. I would have been appreciative of some instructions or something.
There is a moment where we do see the force field of the vortex with Connery putting his face up against it. Like it's just a plate of glass that they're filming, but it is interesting.
I thought that was a rad effect. Yeah, I mean, because it's like he is like 2 shots before that, like miming like walking with his hand like on an invisible wall, and then when they cut to a close-up, they've put a piece of glass there, and he shoves his face. I thought shit like that. I'm like, yep, please do more of this in movies. Put that fucking glass there.
It's easy, it's practical. I'm like tired of the force fields that give you the little shock with the little laser coloring book effects that a lot of older films had.
Bring back squibs, I say. And
absolutely.
The one thing I miss, I do wish he had he'd blown out against the glass and like his cheeks gone out so you could see his teeth and stuff. Just once. I just want it once.
What, like a fucking monkey in the zoo?
Yes, exactly. That precisely.
He goes in front of the whole kind of Council of Eternals here. Charlotte Rampling's deal is she wants to kill him because she knows that he's dangerous. May is like, I want to study him for scientific reasons. And they're like probing his memory through psychic whatever. And this is where you see like a rape scene and he's just like, I did it in Zardoz's name. And it's like, and like, you hear, it's kind of this great thing. There's this character friend who comes in, who's really important. It's like Zardoz's best bud kind of a thing. And like, they're watching Connery kill all these people and all this stuff. And they're like, what has Arthur been up to? Arthur this and Arthur that. And then friend is like, well, I don't know. You know, no one else wanted to run the Outlands, and you know, he's an artist. It's kind of like, well, I liked it. You know what? I thought it was kind of cool. Shoot me. You know what? Just shoot me.
Everyone thought that the movie they made about our life, which they also called Zardoz, was a piece of shit. But you know what? I thought it was kind of cool. Yeah, there's weird stuff. Yeah, Steve, you mentioned the assault on the beach. He's like, I took a woman in his name, and then there's a part I thought it was hilarious. They're like, where did this happen? And he goes, the place where the sea meets the land. And I was like, the beach?
Yeah.
But the other thing, there's a great thing he says, Zardoz made us grow wheat. And there is just
Great scene here, this flashback.
Like these farmers, of this, like the lowest caste here, and they're all being like menaced by Connery and his guys. And Connery just like, there's one guy that's like, whew, boy, working hard doing all this farming. And Connery just casually shoots him in the face.
It's so good because I think he slips up a little bit. He didn't farm good enough. For Connery.
Played by John Boorman himself, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's his director's cameo. And the blank got lodged in his skull or like lodged in his head for like a week or something. And he had to get it out, kind of a thing, which is insane.
I mean, Connery fucking aim it to the side a little bit. What the fuck?
No, I'm a method actor. I'm always pointing real guns at directors.
Now, John, I can take it out, but you're going to have to give me a portion of the medical budget.
I was supposed to be in The Crow, and I got fired the first day.
Oh, man. You know why.
Oh, and then this whole forced farming thing, one thing that's, I guess, maybe because of how bored and oblivious they are in the vortex, people are like shocked that they have agriculture in the brutal land, but like how else are you getting fed? At least the apathetics are being fed via this system.
Well, the brutal, like the exterminators, I don't even see, they don't have a house. They don't have tents. They're just like roaming the fucking countryside, whipping farmers. And
Connery is the only one that we know anything about. Like, I don't think any of the other exterminator guys even get a name at any point.
It's kind of, I mean, they're wearing these Zardoz helmets, which are cool, but look really impractical unless they're really well insulated on the inside.
I mean, they look like football club merchandise, like shit you would buy at the game.
It's brilliant, though, because I love the fact that the face of the head is on both sides. So, like, if you just come across one of these guys from behind, you're like, oh, my God, he's looking at me. But
we are the mighty, mighty Zardozes. Zardoz rules.
Zardoz United has it. Zardoz United, hold it. He's holding it. Go! Zardoz United, go!
They do a thing where they're trying to figure out what happened to Arthur because, like, Connery's not giving up the ghost here. So they're able to, I guess, scan, like, Arthur's last memory, and they're just like, Arthur Frayne died. Reconstruction has begun. And this is where you see the little Matrix baby, like, in the sack.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then we see him he comes to life again at the very end of the film.
Right.
Which rules.
Only to die again, but
but we're showing a lot. This is a lot of the Planet of the Apes stuff. This is all riding horses on the beach, just like shooting people.
It's kind of cool.
Random. It kind of is.
I like seeing like the remnants of the old world. We see some, like, I guess, apartment buildings that are burnt out.
Yeah, totally. Did you guys notice? In one of the beach stampede here, there's definitely two dudes that in real life get run over by a horse. Because there's some sort of like one of these guys, like one of these exterminators, like shoots a dude, and something happened with the horse, and the horse tries to like run through two guys who are laying down and just definitely steps on both of them.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
I kind of wish that I had gotten more, like, because as it is, it's just horse crimes and horse adventures that have gone on before. And I just need to know if there's some system. Do they deliver it to the mouth? Do they deliver all the grain to the mouth at some point?
They do. In the beginning, that's why they get their guns.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how he sneaks in, as he hides in the grain. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so like it's a lot. He turns into Friend, who's this character played by John Alderton. Is his like intern, and he keeps like calling him monster, which kind of rules.
Dude, this guy's performance is awesome, and I love him just talking at Connery because, like, when they decide that they're gonna keep Zed, for studying and everything. They keep saying things like as if it's like a friggin' dog,
Yes.
like, oh, can we keep it? Oh, we want to keep it. It's so entertaining, blah, blah, blah. So they're given 3 weeks. Zed is given 3 weeks to live while this woman May does all these experiments. So yeah, he's just kind of sidled with this guy friend, and this dude's like having him, like Connery, like pull him in this cart, and he's like, "Now, monster, what say we ride around the grounds, and I can insult people from this carriage?"
And he's like throwing baguettes of bread everywhere at like random people, and then most of them are the apathetic, so they just stand there.
Yeah, totally, just like whipping these people with baguettes.
Green baguettes, dude, because it's fucking the future. Our baguettes are green.
That's
Where
right.
every day is St. Patrick's Day, and we just dye random food green.
I mean, is that?
Hey,
is that
Zardoz, what about a shamrock shake? How about it?
Oh man, I didn't get one this year.
I got some corned beef for ya. I mean, it's green bread, potatoes, and watermelon.
Yeah.
That seems
Oh,
to
I
be
missed the
diet.
watermelon.
Yeah.
There's watermelon?
Yes.
There's just a bunch of watermelon on the table.
Nice.
I could live off of that if I had to. I potatoes, big fave, bread. That's all. That's nice. Watermelon, delicious treat.
You would survive, but you would never have a solid shit again in your life.
We've witnessed,
That's presupposing that I have them now.
Sure. Fair.
we witnessed like a trial of some dude that is like accused of giving bad vibes, essentially.
Dude, this is hilarious. This was some real like surveillance state shit. They're like, hey man, you're on trial because you had like a negative thought, or you gave like a, what does he say? He was giving like constructive criticism about the society.
Yeah.
And they're just like, constructive criticism not appreciated. And the penalties, this part fascinated me. Like the penalties for these Eternals are like, if you, whatever the infraction is, the punishment is like you are aged by a varying number of years depending upon the offense.
Yeah.
But you can't die. So like if you were an Eternal and you were like the bad boy or something like that, and you kept getting into trouble and you were just like the grandpa from Texas Chainsaw, but you wouldn't die, fuck, that sucks.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what that's
those
seniles.
renegades. Yeah, the renegades they call those. Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
the senile
yeah.
renegades.
Yeah, that's what that turns into. I mean,
Which eventually we find out that like half of these renegades who are in the senility home, which is actually kind of cool because they all wear tuxedos in the senility home.
Dude, this whole, like, whatever this home is, didn't it? I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever been there. Didn't it look like Tavern on the Green a little bit?
Never been.
Oh,
been.
really? Oh, okay.
No, I guess I'm just a brutal. Out in the vortex.
Oh, you've never been to Tavern on the Green?
Andrew took his floating head and went there.
I was hiding under a bunch of cat litter. That's how I got into the restaurant.
Did
Oh,
anybody
man.
catch what the guy's name is?
No.
George Satan.
Sick.
It's a good name.
Oh, man.
I would love to see.
Spelled the same way?
Yeah, I think so. And they're like, no. Actually, my name is George Simmons. Oh, no, George Satan is here to give his defense.
But what I was getting at before was that like half of these renegades are like the scientists that built the AI.
Yes.
That I guess they eventually, after 200 to 300 years, started to get other ideas that weren't appreciated.
And I guess Charlotte
Right.
Rampling is like the boss of everybody, is my guess. It's like she's like the leader. We can talk about
Yeah.
her a little bit. I mean, and she's like pretty stone cold most of this movie until she turns, kind of a thing.
Even when she turns,
Yeah.
man. I've never seen a heartwarming Charlotte Rampling performance.
Yeah.
But yeah, this guy friend like takes him. This is where you get the cool. I loved all this like Museum of World History shit where it's like where they put the Ark of the Covenant or something like that, or like Scrooge McDuck's basement. It's just like statues and paintings, and this dude friend is looking at slideshows of old like jalopy cars.
All right. It's also they got these disgusting wax figures
Ugh.
with all the uniforms throughout history on them.
And
Just thinking about like saving, like, oh, the world is going down. Well, we have to evacuate. What was that? Mother Tussauds? What is that thing?
Madame Tussauds.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta save this wax statue of Samuel L. Jackson that looks nothing like him.
Hey, Zardoz, take a picture of me and Matt Damon.
This one is supposed to be Nicolas Cage, whoever that is.
Oh, look at this, Zardoz. John Travolta.
Yes, is this one of your gods in the old world?
Zardoz, in the library, I found a big stack of Premiere magazines.
Long ancient texts.
Yeah, so the old people, these nasty fuckers, are all caged in one area, and they're like kind of going crazy. This is sort of like the big I mean, as much as you can understand this movie, these are all the teaching scenes here, all the exposition. It's like, because Friend is just taking him around to all these places, so you explain like the apathetic folks, which I kind of don't know what the deal is there. These are people who are just over it, but they're not like making infractions, so they're not aging.
Yeah, they're just so bored they can't barely move anymore.
Fucking tell me about it.
Yeah, that's me right now. Like, honestly, I've been enjoying like video games or movies or whatever, but the last 3 days, I'm not even joking with you, when I've found myself with some spare time, I've just been doing absolutely nothing. just kind of standing here.
Some space staring, dude. I've been there.
Yeah, yeah. Some deep, dark thoughts.
Just feel the air on your body for a couple hours.
Exactly. Get to know those small little emotions again, like the wind tickling your lip.
Look,
and now for deep, dark thoughts with Jack Handy's fucked up brother.
I mean, if I was in this situation, if I was so like, me being bored would just be me cursing alone in a room. Like, it wouldn't be like just hanging out and putting my head to a tilt.
Well, here's something we find out, and Charlotte Rampling lets us know, because she's doing some of the research on Zed is coming in, and they find out that he can still get boners, which apparently is something that these guys cannot do anymore. And the idea is, I mean, this is where the movie is like pretty reductive. It's like, since men can't get erections anymore because procreation no longer happens, no sex at all is happening. I'm
Dude,
like,
what?
Pardon me?
If anything, wouldn't that amp up all the sex?
Exactly.
If you don't have to worry about knocking somebody up?
And even if you can't get it up, dude, you've got fingers, you've got holes.
Yeah.
Everybody's got something to do.
Chowtown.
Exactly.
But
Hey, Zardoz, why didn't you ever think about going to Chowtown?
You should have taken that head and given some head.
Chowtown, which is in Vortex 3.
Oh, the Chow District.
Hey, Zardoz, I know that you guys are eternally so intelligent. Ever heard of eating ass?
Don't need no schlong for eating ass, Zardoz.
In their defense, it's been like 300 years, and you've done everything in the book 1,000 times, and it's just like,
I guess. I mean, also, like, it's a limited pool of people. Like, if I fuck that guy 300 times, fuck that lady 600 times.
And they're in the vortex. There's nothing that's in their way whatsoever in life.
Yeah.
So there's no thrill in literally anything.
A young person might want to fuck again and might be excited about fucking again, but these are the same fucking people all the time. So
And I gotta tell you,
I get it.
I gotta tell you, this movie populated with a bunch of beautiful ladies and a bunch of fucking dog-faced dudes.
Yeah. It's a little uneven, dude. Not a lot of... I mean, Connery's the snack here, but,
Sure. I mean, I think that's why he makes such waves when he comes to town.
Oh, yeah. So we're talking about the boners, and they give him like this boner test. They're like,
my
let's
God.
show him pornography of various types.
Well,
and this is fucking great. I feel like this is... Now, correct me if I'm wrong with this analysis, that it's like an act of defiance. Like, no, I won't get a boner at that.
No.
And then when it's done, he looks at Consuela there, and he's like, no, I'll get a boner for you because defiance.
Or you didn't go to the stepsister JOI tab on the tabernacle.
Oh, my stepsisters. We shouldn't do this. What if mom and dad find out?
Hey, Tabernacle, make sure the private browsing tab is on, okay?
Well, I guess mom and dad they don't have to know, and we're not technically touching.
Oh, wow, and now it's so crazy. Mom's joining in, too.
all I have to do is call you step sister and you step mother, and we are good.
So I'm JOIing to my stepsister, and then my stepmother comes in and starts sucking my cock.
And this is all very normal.
Dude,
What a wild Thanksgiving that was.
And my stepfather pegs us all.
Uh-oh, here comes some... okay, Tabernacle, what have you got on Bart Simpson?
Hey, Tabernacle, what's the latest that Lois Griffin and Chris Griffin are getting up to?
Wait a second, could you throw the dog into the mix? You're the man now, dog. Go fuck that lady. Her name is Lois.
Charlotte Rampling just trying to get to the bottom of boners. It is just the one. When I turned on this movie today, I could have never guessed.
And there's that animation of like it's a flaccid penis and then it becomes erect, and I'm just chuckling because I'm only 38 years old.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. But he's giving her a look like, see, now it's working.
Yeah.
That's they have like an infographic about penises getting hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, we have a problem getting from the coin purse thing here going to a full banana.
Well, they're not even trying to get, I mean, like, they're interested, but they're beyond, they're even beyond sleep, which also like, oh, ever since we've become super eternals, we don't even sleep anymore. We just go to meditation phase 2. Like, fuck that. Like, I'm sorry.
Fuck that.
I am sorry. I am sleeping a lot.
Like, sleep became obsolete, you pretentious assholes.
Too boring.
Yeah. Well, they're listening to that computer too much. Tabernacle, you piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. You got to limit it. You do, Eric, if you're trying to go to sleep, limit your tabernacle time right before bed.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to have a hard time falling asleep.
300 years later, I still haven't gotten any shut up.
You want your glasses to have a tabernacle filter for your light because that's going to affect your eyes a little bit.
Yeah, when you're trying to go to sleep, the Tabernacle's like, how about that insane tab on Pornhub?
Don't you want to look at that insane tab one more time? And of course, because this is a fucking dude movie in the 1970s, like, Connery is like mentally and physically superior to all of these eternal people.
Absolutely.
And May is like, hey man, I kind of know what's going on here. And you know what? I'm not going to blow up your spot about it.
Yes, because this is what she reveals, that she calls him a mutant because he's been bred and he could read and all the stuff she knows, but she's also like, he's just so hot, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So there's this wild scene where they're all kind of like having a nice sit down lunch inside, and Friend brings Zed to the meal, and Connery's like serving people, and they're like, hey, Friend, in our like quote unquote utopian society that we all live forever and everything's perfect, like we all take turns like cooking meals and shit. And like, looking at the chore chart, Friend, the chore chart says it is your day to serve us lunch, and this dude is not your servant. And the guy like kind of puts up a stink about it, and they more or less like first Consuela freaks out, right? Charlotte Rampling starts freaking out, and they all use like psychic powers to kill this guy or something.
Hold on, quickly before that happens. Sean Connery has my favorite line in the movie because they're having this real argument about like whether or not it's right to make Zed do this stuff, and chart this and that, and then like Connery's sitting there awkwardly, and I think it's just Charlotte Rampling is like, I don't know, potato. Like, so do you want potatoes or what? Is it?
It's interesting because it kind of like blows up her. It makes her look silly there because she's just like, I'm just trying to shove potatoes, madam.
Would you like me to take my penis out again?
Well, because like she this whole time is trying to still make this argument of like he's just a friggin' like ape person.
Yes,
he's
gotta kill him.
The other thing, and he's like, oh, more potatoes, madam.
See, he's like he shows his thinking mind there, and then they do that psychic ray on this dude or whatever this is, and I guess it ages him a certain amount, and he gets like a stroke.
They label him Yeah, they label him a renegade, which means he's now going to be just an old guy someplace. And I think he's like rapidly turning into an old guy is what that is. Like, and he turns into half old guy, half not old guy, I think.
What's great about it, though, is because now that he's been designated an old guy, is when we see him again, he's going to be wearing a tuxedo for the rest of the film.
Yeah.
All of the old people that are stuck in that fucking tavern on the green glass house are all dressed like they're at a fucking goddamn New Year's Eve party in The Shining or something.
Yeah.
Like it's
spooky.
wonderful party here in the vortex.
He does look like the Phantom of the Opera without the mask. When we get back to him, when he's in the soiree.
I got to be honest, he's looking a little bit like our friend who put out a great album last year, Paul McCartney, just a touch.
You're right. You're right on the money, dude.
I gotta say, oh man, maybe I wrote it somewhere in my notes when we get to like his reveal. Fuck, because he looked like someone else and it was killing me. Oh, maybe I'll remember it. But yeah, they keep yelling renegade. So I guess this dude's whole deal is like, not only does he age, but now he's just got to be out on a motorcycle, just riding around in the desert, helping people,
solving mysteries.
Is that like just like super annoyance? Like you just badger people until they turn into senile?
Well, I mean, there's the weird thing, the weird thing. Okay, Andrew. One of the weird things, they never really get into it. I guess it's just you assume like because they're eternals and they're like quote unquote like higher beings or whatever. But this whole psychic power ability thing here is a little too vague for my taste.
A lot of the little details are very that's strange. They do the Macarena to vote on the guy's death.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a weird thing.
The Macarena.
They do like a little dance. Like it's a little
like
weird
hand
dance.
gestures, right?
Yes. Yeah. No, everyone has a specific like facial or hand gesture that signifies their vote. It's very weird.
And there's
probably the worst thing in the movie, to be honest.
There's also a part where Friend earlier on is like talking to the apathetics, but he's talking backwards. And I'm like, what's
at the
that
bakery.
about? Yeah.
It's another thing that's just never, not only is it never explained, it's also never really used again. I think like one other time it comes up.
Oh, we forgot to mention that when Sean Connery meets the apathetics, he starts groping a woman, and this dude's like, well, go ahead, whatever. And it turns out she's an apathetic, so she's not moving, and thankfully Sean Connery backs off of that, but even the grab was a lot.
Dude, I was kind of peeking between my fingers like, what are we going to do here, movie? And instead, what winds up happening, not immediately there, but like he gets up, he yells something at Friend, and then like he just totally throws this woman, like really chucks this person onto a like big old like pile of hay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then, on Friend's like additional tour of everything here, like Connery goes, he does investigate the invisible shield really quickly, we talked about that, but he goes to like the renegade old folks home, and there's Friend sort of half turned, but like there's a part where Friend is like, oh hey, because he's like, I guess mad at Zed or something, and he's like, hey, all those old people, guess who can die? It's that guy. And all of a sudden it turns into this like weird old people zombie movie where they're like chasing him around this room.
This is real life, by the way.
It was freaking me out, dude.
Since I moved outside of New York City, this is literally my daily experience.
You know what this is? You know what this fucking scene reminded me of? I was getting flashbacks to like a like Friday morning like film forum matinee.
Absolutely.
So all these old fuckers just screaming at you, trying to grab at you and whatnot.
Which is like I can't, that's going to be my first experience after the second dose sets in, and then we get into like mid-May or June. I desperately want to go back to the
I can't wait to sit next to an old fuck with an egg salad sandwich. I cannot wait for it.
No, yeah,
Bring it on.
If these guys were just screaming about which theater the Melville retrospective is in, I would be right at home.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. You're using a 2-week-old copy of AM New York as a plate for that egg sandwich. Perfect.
But so like that's kind of all going on, and like we now know that he's like, and I think Friend is kind of now like revealed himself to be his ally, or at least Arthur's ally, and like it's like we all did this for you kind of a thing. Like the plot is kind of coming into focus, wherein Connery will usurp this whole system kind of a thing.
Yeah, and this is also where they give the backstory of like him reading the books or everything, and this is like, it was actually
the twist.
Yeah, it's dumb, but I was fine with it. Because this woman May is peeling, more layers out of his memory, trying to figure out what's going on. She's like, tell me more about your past and everything. And this is like each season, the Zardoz head flew down and we took the wheat and put it in there, and he gave us the guns and all that stuff. And then he's talking about like, going into this building, chasing after somebody. It turns out there's a bunch of books in this one room, and one is given to him, and it's the Wizard of Oz, or whatever the first Frank Baum book is.
It's a baby book. I mean, it's like Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. It's not.
No. It's the Frank L. Baum.
Well, not the first book he gets, but like after a while, this is the book that breaks him, kind of a thing.
I'm saying I think it's the first Frank Baum Oz book, because he wrote multiple books, but he looks at the way his hand is on the cover, and the Wizard of Oz, Oz, is what happens.
This is Zardoz, Arthur Frey, giving him his follow the white rabbit.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And this was going to be. I'm going to do a similar movie where it's Ike Clue, which is Fight Club, which is the book that he finds.
Ah, yes, my the god that I worship, Obi-Ik.
So I just have to shoot myself in the head, and there's no Zardoz.
Zardoz, you met me in a very weird time in my life.
In the Book of Choke, they say that you could find, a new plane of existence if you cut off your windpipe while fucking.
Yes, and of course, who could forget that short story about the kid in the pool with the butt being sucked out? Wasn't that one of his?
Probably.
Might be George Saunders.
Where is my mind?
Take that, credit card companies that haven't existed for 200 years.
Oh man! And then when he realizes what's going on, when he realizes like Zardoz is a fake thing. It's exactly, pulling the curtain back on the wizard himself, right? This was again in my top 5 chuckles watching this movie. Sean Connery freaking out at these bookshelves.
Yes.
Oh my God. He's throwing the books all over the floor. He's fucking going apeshit. He's knocking these shelves down. Oh man. It's like Citizen Kane when Orson Welles is beating the shit out of that room.
Yes.
Kind of similar vibes.
It's cool though, right? Like, 'cause he's been worshiping this thing, and now he realizes that it's all horseshit, And there's themes there.
Well, it definitely is. And so all this is going on, while May has him they're like under a sheet together, and they start kind of like getting it on at this point. And then this is where Charlotte Rampling comes in, and she's like, "Oh my goodness, May, you're laying with that creature? Well, that's just bestiality."
I'm the step beast. It's okay.
Yes. That makes it okay. You don't understand. It makes it okay.
No. So I'm jerking off at my stepsister. My stepmother comes in, sucks me off. Stepfather comes in and pegs us all, of course. And then stepdog.
Stepdog?
And then I have to... Do you think I have to do a step cousin? Let's say step cousin too. Yeah, I have to have a step cousin too, just kissing my back.
And then, of course, my step coworker and my step boss come in.
You got to watch out for that step boss, dude.
They step on my nuts.
Oh yes. Hey, Tabernacle, do you have the film Zoo by any chance?
It comes with an intro from Chris Cabin. Great.
We all worship at the big giant head of Chris Cabin. Zoo prophet.
A bunch of horse dicks come out of his mouth.
It's just Zoo and Warhorse.
And a 5-minute clip of Seabiscuit, because that movie sucked ass. There's very much more Matrixy shit going on, because of course after that analysis, May is like, oh, by the way, Sean Connery, you're the one.
Yeah.
You know, you're the liberator, you're death itself. And we get a little bit of the backstory here about all these fucking rich, powerful white motherfuckers banding together to ignore like people suffering, you know, and preserving their utopia, considering themselves the custodians of the future. These fucking people, man.
The
Would
last,
spit on all of them.
the last of them, known as Morpheus.
And it's cool. I mean, you know, it is making a statement about, you know, people who put themselves above people, et cetera, et cetera. And one thing I noticed here, anyone else see all these women with Princess Leia hairdos, by the way?
Rampling herself has one a little bit.
3 years before, man. 3 years before.
Oh, hey, just putting it out there. I saw a really fucking cool movie called Zardoz. It stars James Bond and a bunch of ladies with a pretty cool hairstyle. Just saying.
Put
They
that
should-
in
he
the
should-
old notebook. Hey, notebook.
He should have taken more, man. Darth Vader should have flown around and have a giant head.
Oh,
If
yes.
only. Fucking hell, right? That would be pretty cool.
Add this to the 5th Stolen Ideas notebook. Here we go.
Wow, those are really piling up, huh?
Turns out if you scramble them all together, people think you're a genius. Look at this. Oh, hit a little Kurosawa right there. Little Zardoz.
Oh, Kurosawa. That was a whole notebook I stole from him.
Oh, yeah, just take out all the Japanese actors and put in fucking white people.
Look at this. I made it in English.
You take out the soul of it and it works.
They like freak out at him in this moment, I guess, because of the fucking here. He lays with that woman May, and all of a sudden he's inside one of these grow house bubbles, and they're all just beating the shit out of him.
And then he used his Superman strength to rip through this plastic, and everyone's like, "Oh, you ripped through the
Dude.
cellophane!"
And
Yeah.
that, my friends, is another thing where it's like, hell, if you don't have the money for it, don't do it. Because then
Yeah.
it's clearly just fucking
It was
saran wrap.
It was supposed to be unbreakable. It was supposed to be unbreakable. How did
Yeah.
he do that? It was supposed to be unbreakable.
What, did he tear through it with really long nails? How could he?
But you know
Yeah.
what? That's the thing too, though, and I think I said this earlier, like in some other episode about like, you don't. That's all I need, kind of. Like, I don't need someone to be jacked out of their goddamn mind to be a hulking beast. You just tell me something's unbreakable, then he breaks it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that guy's pretty
But-
fucking strong.
It's
Yep.
just the fact that it's that weak plastic.
It is-
like,
it is.
If,
It's not
if they
great.
put him in like a Mission Impossible glass box,
Yes.
and he just punched through it, it'd be like, I mean, obviously that now is a little more expensive and there's a stunt person involved, but it would be fucking cool.
Or how about this? It's just a cage and he bends the bars with his
There you
arms.
go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what there, John. How about if I go into a glass box and break it and you give me all the stunt money?
How about this? I go under a glass table and my step Stallone takes a shit on it.
Are you sure we should be doing this? I mean, we're family, you know what I'm saying?
Well, we're on this step, so it's not too bad.
Oh, well, if that's the case.
Give me those logs, mister.
Oh my God damn it. I'm going to throw up. Throw up
It's
at
a
some
good-
point. during
As
I
you
this.
want to
should.
be
They're
clear.
steaming. They're steaming. You can see the condensation.
The infiltration of step pornography into regular pornography
Don't
has been
like it.
bothering me for quite some time. That's what this bit is, FYI.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, you don't. So you don't like it?
Oh
is
no,
what
I
you're saying.
do not like it. Put me down
think
for
the-
a do not like.
So you just want to make sure that the listeners at home know you don't like
yeah,
it.
Yes,
Okay.
that I do not like.
Underline it, yeah.
Do not.
Not even the stepdog.
Especially the stepdog.
It's kind of hilarious. There's some, I think it was a Vine going around where this girl was singing about her stepdog, which is now
Oh, Vine? Is it fucking 10 years ago? Do you mean a TikTok?
A TikTok. I'm your grandfather. Apologies.
What was happening on this
It's
TikTok?
just it's a song where she's like, I got a stepdog, and it was just like her mom's
No.
dog. Her
They
mom's
fuck it?
no. It was
I don't know what you're watching. You're saying you don't like the step stuff.
It's a cute song about a step dog, and I shouldn't have brought it up in this vile conversation.
Step dog. What is
OnlyFans
that?
bought TikTok.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't put pornography on TikTok, right? That
No,
doesn't work that
I don't
way.
believe so.
No, sir.
He's like kind of running away from these folks. He finds himself smack dab in the middle of an apathetics makeout party. This was a weird scene. They're like stealing part of his life force, or just like feeling his vibe or whatever.
It wakes them up, like his sweat and his
Virility.
life force.
Yeah.
His pheromones, his natural male virility.
I do like.
all you apathetics here. You want a bit of life juice? Why don't you go ahead and lick these armpits?
Well, it is a thing where like, it is quite something to have an orgy in the middle of a chase scene. I've never seen that done quite that way before.
It's the future, baby.
you could tell that he's like, oh, I don't know about this apathetics. I'm kind of on the run, right? Oh, well, okay.
Well, this is the first time I've gotten hard since a bunch of people were staring at me while pictures of cars were going by.
And so, friend, this is like where they really explain, like, listen, we want to take this all down. We because we want to die. We're just over this whole thing. And May is like, all right, so here's the deal, Sean Connery. Inseminate us all, and I'll tell you everything I know. And then this other woman goes, that's right, Zed. We'll teach you.
Yes, and
this is kind of like when you had to catch Captain America back up on what everything happened over the last 70 years. Like, it's kind of that, but it's like, instead of him looking at a television screen, they're all like projected images onto people. It's actually very... it was reminding me very much of like Bond opening.
yes, yeah.
Funny enough. But yeah, so he's like learning by them like projecting world history onto bodies, I guess.
Yeah, he's just kind of learning everything really quickly. And, it is kind of cool the way Boorman does it, where it starts to spin and it is disorienting. It kind of turns into a cyclone. And then he's like, well, now I'm a fucking genius.
We also get like a quick flashback of like the creation of it all and how the vortex is populated by the rich and shit. And yeah.
I'm sorry, did I miss something? Are aliens involved? Because
I don't think so.
It seemed like there was a line where it's like otherworldly, but maybe I'm an asshole.
Well, here's what it is. I was just going to bring that up because this is in the same part, because he's like, Connery says something about like, well, this appears to be technology from another world, or like something like that.
Okay.
And friend is like, oh yeah, we went to space. And Zed is like, and he goes, we found nothing and came back.
Yeah.
It is the funniest, like, yeah, we went to space. It was all right.
He said it was another dead end, which is actually kind of interesting to think about, of like a group of people trying to live forever. And like, yes, we went in our 300-year lifespan, we went to the far reaches of outer space and there was still nothing. So we came back, and it makes it even more like nihilistic.
I mean,
totally. There's nowhere to go, right?
Yes, Beast. The first wave of rich people, they all wanted to live on the moon for some reason, and they all died. The minute they stepped off of the ship, they all died because they're living on the moon and they're idiots.
They wanted to go live on Mars hundreds of years ago with a total fucking moron named Elon Musk. They all died immediately. This is where he goes to that fucking room of wax sculptures.
Yeah, the quick shot of like the people outside the vortex, like the regular people from a more of a, I guess, 20th century or 21st century vibe, watching this happen. Kind of a cool little class argument here, but yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it is cool. And they're like, come on. They all kind of have this like, come on. Oh, don't pick up your ball and leave. And by that,
but it's so shitty out here.
Well, that's the thing, is that you sold these people on trickle down economics for long enough, and then you fucking pull the plug, baby. Every rich person's dream.
Absolutely. This whole wax sculpture scene totally freaks me out, because in there is neighborhood weirdo Arthur Frayne pretending to be one of these motherfuckers, and he like touches him. I would have shit my red diaper.
Around here is like, the idea is I think May gives it to him. It's like, you have to go inside the tabernacle to take it down. And he's like, well, where the fuck is the tabernacle? And she's like, I don't know. Look at this crystal. Maybe once you can see into the crystal, you'll be able to go into the tabernacle.
Okay. Now, are you absolutely sure this doesn't have anything to do with aliens? Because this really seems like an alien. I have to go inside a diamond, you're telling me.
Listen,
This reeks of alien technology.
Listen to me. I better not go in there and see some type of weird little annihilation guy that's just mirroring my movements.
Well, actually, the movie Life Force was based on what happened to London right before all of this. So yes, actually, it was aliens. I'm sorry.
Yes, I've in all your touch teaching, I've watched a lot of science fiction films, and this really smacks of aliens.
You're speaking of touch teaching. I've done that to a number of step-related pornos.
So you've got me in there, and you've got me looking at a bunch of mirrors at myself. Are you sure this isn't that Orson Welles thing?
Dude, yeah. What, a lady from Shanghai, right?
Yeah.
I totally thought of that at this whole part. So he gets inside this thing eventually, right? He's he is yelling tabernacle. He is talking to them. He's like, tabernacle, where are ye?
And the tabernacle's like, not permitted. I don't know.
There's also like faces of everyone, I guess, of the Eternals and stuff. It looks like a bad like video art display.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, totally.
Here, tabernacle. Here, this isn't working. Oh, I've got it. Here, step tabernacle. Here, step tabernacle. Our parents have left for the day. Step tabernacle.
Oh no! God. I am far too aroused to resist you, step tabernacle.
Gosh, even though we grew up together, we're not blood. I can't even keep it straight. I love the premise of him jerking off to step stuff.
Step stuff.
It's the only way he can shoot, man.
Just step
I was biologically engineered to only shoot to step stories.
It's my favorite subreddit is step stories.
Zardoz and all of his great mystery and wonder bred me and my father's father only like the step stuff.
There is one part where I was just laughing because I was like, this tabernacle is at times nothing more than an external hard drive, because there's a part where he's like, hey, tabernacle, what do you got going on in there? And the thing just goes, infinite storage space.
I've got a bad gateway for era 404.
Tabernacle, your homepage is broken.
But yeah, this is, and it's also very, what do you want to call it there? A little bit of Last Jedi here. Got a little bit with that. The infinite mirror situation.
Oh, totally. Yeah, there is a great tabernacle line here where, because like Connery like slides into this crystal or whatever, and it just goes, "You have penetrated me."
Yes, and he's.
Oh, thank you, Dave. You've penetrated me.
Oh, speaking of which, right, Chris, you texted earlier today that the DP of 2001.
Oh yeah,
and previous We Love Movies episode, Superman the Motion Picture. That's why it looks so great. Jeffrey Unsworth, ladies and gentlemen,
King.
But what was the shit I was reading though about what was going on with how this was shot? Was like he was constantly using like fucking smoke machines and like soft focus and putting like frost lenses in front of or like frost filters in front of the lens, and then like when they developed it, it was like, well, you can't fucking see anything here.
Well, apparently the first print of the first pressing of prints for the movie, if you saw it on like the big screen, it did have this really weird look to it. I don't know what that was, but they said it only worked on the first pressing. After like there was some degrading afterwards, and it just looked worse.
I guess it was trying to make it like otherworldly, which could have been cool.
Yeah, I would have really. I mean, I don't think there are. I mean, maybe there are still first pressings of this movie on like available to like fucking project somewhere, but I don't know.
I looked up that apparently there was a Blu-ray release in 2015, and now it's like going for $200 on eBay. Not worth it, but yeah.
Man, I really hate when those fucking pigs do that. It is a goddamn DVD, you creeps. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Also,
it's
like
rare.
$200 for a Zardoz Blu-ray.
If there's an HD scan somewhere, put it out. Because what we all saw, I assume, because what I saw looked like shit. It was standard.
I rented it on iTunes. It was SD trash.
Yeah, it's similar, very grainy on Amazon for me. I do. Yeah, I would love a 4K something or other. Like, let's do it. Let's Zardoz it up. Yeah, because and this part's really trippy. Like he keeps and before it gets to the super infinite mirror stuff, it's like him going in this weird fun house and he keeps going the wrong way and like pressing up against glass. It takes a little too long, but it is effective in sort of like disorienting kind of a situation.
I mean, you can't like end a movie like this very normal. Like
no,
you can't try a normal narrative like tight knit at the end of this. So you kind of have to go explosive like this.
Well, because the train can't just go off the rails. It's got to go off the rails while it's crossing a fucking high up bridge and fall into a river.
Precisely.
Like a fucking Buster Keaton movie. You know what I mean? He's just getting yelled at in this fun house. It's hilarious. And then he shoots, he's like just firing wildly. He shoots a mirror. And this was a cool effect because he like shoots himself. And what they do is like they film Connery falling down, like he falls to his knees. You can see the bullet hole and he falls out of the frame. But there's a piece of glass and you see the bullet hole in it. And did you catch this? The blood was coming out of the bullet hole.
Yeah, it's cool.
Nice effect.
Like blood just coming out of this mirror. It was fucking awesome.
And that's basically he has bested the tabernacle and destroyed it. And now he's basically beaten God. And Charlotte Rampling, who's been going up and down the fucking the vortex, looking hither and thither for him, finally finds him, and she's like, I'd like to fuck you instead. And he's like, I fucking told ya. Like it just
see, look, you never got the visage of my hard willy out of your eyes, did you?
Because he says something like, "Oh yes, once you chase something long enough, you'll want to become it, and also want to fuck it. Also, what if my dad married your mom? Is all I'm saying."
I think they're
and your mom was Lois Griffin.
I don't know. Step Consuela sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I guess they were trying to go for something where it's like she has become an exterminator trying to kill him, so she then realizes that and stands down.
Well, Consuela, I've put a couple little treats in my chest hair. You're going to have to get them out with your teeth.
Face first, Consuela.
Oh, use your step teeth. Put in those dentures that is not related to me.
She also is like, oh, that guy we were looking for? He's not here. Let's all leave. But everyone starts going apeshit. And this is when Sean Connery, and this is like really trippy. He just goes to everyone, like friend and May. He's like, get behind me, stay within my aura. And I'm like, what? And he starts traveling through time. And I'm like, wowza, this is a movie.
Because like they were the apathetics or something got so rowdy they started trashing the halls of history. And then Sean Connery just reverses time like that. I mean, this is very Matrix. He's got the power now.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Totally. And I will always be appreciative of running film backwards.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, and they do it to great effect, right? Because you see all the backwards footage and then they cut to close-ups on Connery leading all these people out and it's just forward footage. Like it's practical and it works,
it's
man.
Cool. It's
it
really
just
cool.
is cool. It reminded me a lot of weird like avant-garde shit from like, the 40s. It had a big like Maya Deren vibe to me, like at parts.
Meshes of the afternoon. Yes, good thing that she was my step Maya Deren.
Oh man. I loved it. And so they go back to like the old folks home, and the guy who's like the head scientist that invented the vortex idea, who also just looks like R.I.P. Mr. Wilhelm from Seinfeld. They're like, hey man, so the vortex is kind of destroyed, right? And here's Sean Connery, and he's kind of like the hero, and the guy's just like, oh, perfect, and just like dies immediately. Like, you can do it now, old man. You can die. He took this whole thing down.
One thing, do you promise to fuck everybody? Then I may die.
And then there's this other lady who kind of looked a little bit like Mila Jovovich in The Fifth Element at parts, who's just like, oh, thank you so much, Zed. Now you'll keep your promise, right? And shoot me in the fucking heart. And he's like,
Right.
I kind of grew out of that whole thing. I've now read 2 million books, and I think I don't like that idea quite so much.
I now think penis good, gun bad, actually.
And like he's about to, he's showing his change. He puts his gun down, but this lady gets lit up anyway because the exterminators have breached the vortex, and now everyone's getting shot.
It's crazy. Everyone's just being nailed with these bullets, and people are like, "Thank you."
It's so great.
Just like being so stoked to be murdered. Like,
yeah.
Ooh, do me next.
This is where we see Zardoz again, Arthur Frey, and he's just like,
yes.
Oh, what did I miss? And he gets shot in the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like him and friend are like, we did everything. Where like kind of. I think Zardoz is like, oh, I genetically engineered you, and then Zed is like, well, in a way, I genetically engineered you too, fuckface. I'll talk to you later. It is kind of great. Like, everyone's getting shot. I kind of feel like if I was an immortal and I was just given the gift of mortality after being really bored with immortality, I'd kind of want to take that for a spin for a little while. Like, what's aging like as opposed to getting shot in the head immediately?
Right. Yeah. And some of them do make that decision, right? Like May
rides off,
gets out of there with a couple of folks. And I believe they're all pregnant with fucking Zed's progeny. Yikes.
I'm going to repopulate the earth. Good thing it's a step earth.
Ah, yes, this sexy step planet.
I always wanted to be like Genghis Khan and have a bunch of my stepsons and stepdaughters populating the earth.
There's this part when they're going away, all of these people are all on horseback, and like Connery's like kind of giving them high fives, like it's the end of a basketball game. It's kind of great.
I was just gonna say that. Oh my god! Oh yeah, we did it. Oh yeah, give me 5.
Good game.
We took
good
down
game.
the vortex.
Good game. Good game.
You fought hard. You fought hard. You fought hard.
Good luck.
Someone spit in the hand back there. I can't believe that.
Good luck out there.
And the only place we can end this movie is inside of a wrecked, awesome giant head.
Yep.
Him and Rampling fuck, which is important.
Mm-hmm. We get
and
this.
She gets
very a little too quick for my taste. That sex scene.
Well, what's fucking disturbing is the fucking fake baby belly shit that they get for the pregnancy.
Yeah, because it cuts from one to the other almost immediately, where you don't know where one ends and one begins. Obviously, we're doing some trippy shit there, but it's like, whoa,
species pregnancy. I don't like it.
Well, because it's the way they do it too, right? Is like he kind of moves in closer to her, and you're like, oh, they're going to be getting it on and whatnot, and then it cuts, and you hear her screaming Zed, and you're like, oh, due to the fucking. And then when it like sort of cuts back, she's just got this insanely fake baby belly, and she's screaming his name, and you're like, oh, okay, this is like a time passing. We're wrapping it up here at the end of fucking 6 Feet Under kind of shit.
And she's soaking wet, and you're supposed to believe it's sweat, but my God, it looks gross. Like it looks like a film. I'm sorry.
It's viscous, dude. It's very viscous. And then this is the cool shot at the end, right, where they're dressed in these green suits. And we're going to the Sears Portrait Studio to get a fucking family photo every year.
You see the kid grow up before your eyes in this fast motion where they swap out other actors until like the kid is, I guess, 19 or 18 or something, and then he disappears, and then the two of them stay together and become grampified before our eyes.
And turn into skeletons.
Yes. Oh, hello, Zardoz. You never thought you'd have to contend with the Skeleton League.
Oh, hello. Yes, actually, we are from the Skeleton League retirement home. We've actually been here for quite some time. We cannot wield swords anymore. They break our bones.
And now, Zardoz, we travel around in a giant skeleton head.
You thought death was the answer, but you can't escape being a skeleton. So now you're all skeletons and you'll live forever in the Skeleton League.
That would be a rad way to end this movie.
Did anyone read the trivia?
No.
So basically, it's Charlotte Rampling and Connery have to do this thing where they have to like get into super old age makeup before they swap them out with hilarious skeletons, and they do it once, and like both of them are like, "This is really onerous," and the for some reason it doesn't come together well, and Boorman's like, "All right, we got to do it again." They're both kind of annoyed, and when they do it, some PA opens the camera and exposes the film. And
that person never worked in film again.
That person was nearly murdered by Sean Connery, literally. Like he was choking this dude and had to be pulled apart by two people, and they had to do it a third time.
Is that true?
I mean, it's apocryphal, but that's the story that I read today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I thought you were going to talk about the other Charlotte Rampling story where she reportedly was so excited to fake fuck Sean Connery and was pissed off because it was so brief. Like
I was pissed off too. I just said it.
Yeah, but like during it, like if you were there, I mean, you get to like feel him at least.
Yeah,
that's nice. I mean, that's nice.
Ooh.
Or also, I don't know, dude. You're Charlotte Rampling. Be like, yo, dude, you want to go fuck? Like,
yeah, you could do that.
The answer is usually yes.
I was watching this documentary about Sean Connery like years ago, and there was this lady on there, and like to punctuate every accomplishment he had, she was like, because he was beautiful.
Like
she's like, you know, he was a male bodybuilder.
He was a movie star. Okay.
And then he tried to star out for Hollywood, and of course he got into Hollywood because he's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for this fucking ace testimonial for this DVD extra or whatever the fuck you were making.
Very wonderful.
But it is, I mean, it's very 2001 kind of an ending, but it's a cool one. I love just the sort of like watching them. And what actually, they turned to skeletons, they turned to dust, and all that's left are these handprints in the back, which is kind of like this awesome, that's all you leave, dude. Just little handprints on a fucking cave.
Yeah. Okay, Charlotte Rampling, we're really aging up here, and I don't know how much longer we'll be flying around in this huge head and whatnot. So, where should I park it? Or should we just die and let it crash into the ocean?
I swear to God, if that fucking PA touches that camera again, I'll kill him.
He'll be the skeleton.
Yeah, you'll be the fucking skeleton boy. What do you think about that?
He's definitely murdered someone.
Oh, for sure.
Probably.
That piece of shit.
Oh, man. So that is fucking Zardoz, man. Recommendations and final thoughts, Steve Shadak, we'll start with you.
Pretty strong recommend from me. I would definitely say, wait till after the evening. You've had dinner, you've had a drink, or you're just kind of getting into a relaxed mode. It's a cool midnight movie. It's not, again, like there's a lot of problematic elements. There's a lot of stuff to pick apart, but it's a really ambitious and interesting movie nonetheless. And I do think it's one of the more interesting Connery performances that I've ever seen. So it's a pretty full-throated recommend for me.
Totally. Chris Cab?
Oh yeah, big time recommend. I it's not my favorite Boorman, but like almost all Boormans are interesting. I've only seen one that's really bad. It was from 1990, and it's like him doing a kids movie, and it is atrocious.
I never saw the late stuff.
Is it called Squeal Like a Pig, but it's just about like barnyard friends and whatnot?
It is not, although I have heard that he did do a short called that. No. A movie I like quite a bit. I say also, yes, wait until the after hours.
Eric?
Yeah, it's a big recommend from me as well. I really like some of the John Boorman stuff I've seen. Obviously, I haven't seen everything. I haven't seen that movie that Chris was referencing, but like Excalibur is fantastic. And this movie, I feel like it was it's like a masterpiece was on the bullseye, and then he shot the arrow and it shot a guy in the leg next to the fucking bullseye. But it is it's still almost there. It's got a lot going for it. It's visually striking. So yeah, it's a recommend.
It's a big recommend for me too. And I think one thing I didn't ask at the top, we usually do this, but who had anybody seen this before, or was it first times for everybody for the show?
It was my first time because I always kind of avoided it because I guess like
Yeah.
podcasts and stuff when we were starting out covered it, and I'm just like, okay, whatever, and I'll get to it when I get to it. And I should have seen it earlier, to be honest with you.
Similarly, and I was expecting a much sillier movie.
Yeah.
Like there's silliness here. Obviously, the costumes a bit much, even though I think the costume again is striking. But yeah, I was expecting it to be like goofy. You know what I mean? And it's definitely not that. It was my first time last night.
I had seen it once before, but yeah, the thing everybody knows about it is the fucking suit. There's the picture of Connery with the 2 guns.
Yeah,
and the thing, and that's what everybody knew about it.
it's like a meme.
That's why. Yes, it definitely.
yeah.
And I mean, that's why this whole experience was really fascinating to me because I realized, like, myself included, because I made, at the end of our You Only Live Twice episode, I made a fucking joke about the diaper and everything. And like, what's interesting is I feel like this movie is a really great case for like the film watching community. I don't want to say zeitgeist, but like the film going world, right? That is aware of this movie. Is just aware of it from like the memes and the ridiculous costume, and like they haven't actually seen it, because I feel like if more people had seen this movie, it wouldn't be like we get this requested a lot, right?
Yes,
this is one that comes up, and I feel like if more people had seen it, maybe it wouldn't have the rep that it has. I mean, you talk about like, I was reading, maybe it's on the Wikipedia page, you can find this out, like Boorman, a lot of it is pulled from Boorman doing like a DVD commentary, but he was saying like the reaction was so bad at the time that people were literally leaving the movie theater and telling other people that were online to not go see the movie.
Yeah.
Like that's what the fucking reaction
It was
And,
so
like,
negative. The critical reaction too. Like most of the reviews were negative.
yeah, I'm glad we're all recommending it, because it's like, yeah, it's silly, and I think the analogy about like accidentally shooting someone in the leg instead of the masterpiece bullseye is right on. But like, I appreciated the ambition.
Yes.
I appreciate like low level sci-fi, but like the ambition and the low level like kind of were like ships in the night, and it doesn't function the way he wanted it to. But like, you should check it out, man. I have to say, do not pay those criminals $200 for a Blu-ray, but stream it on Amazon for $3 or whatever. You could do worse. That's right, you could do worse.
It's definitely worth your time. Definitely with a little bit of what just got legalized in New York.
Absolutely, dude. That's why, like, one of these days I am in for a Zardoz rewatch, and I will do it the right way. But that is Zardoz, everybody, from 1974, directed by John Boorman. I got to see more of his movies. If you want more of us here at We Hate Movies, check out patreon.com/We Hate Movies. There's an episode of We Love Movies coming out this week that we're talking about Goldfinger, keeping in line with Sean Gone month. We got a Gleep glossary that's already out on what was that person?
Reese Yees, who you might remember or don't remember actually from the background of Jabba's sail barge.
He's like the goat-faced fucker.
He's got 3 eyes, he's got goat face, and he gets fucked in the face, but it's from his stepbrother, so it's cool.
Gotcha.
It's his step hut.
Yeah, my step hut.
We've also got the Mighty Ducks cartoon coming out pretty soon on Animation Damnation. That's a funky episode. We've also got Melrose 210 coming at you.
Woo!
And
absolutely,
Stalked by My Doctor, the once in a lifetime inaugural episode coming this month. Super excited to do that.
Yes.
So a lot of stuff going on the old patreon.com/We Hate Movies. But as always, on this main feed, the WHM Prime feed, as we call it, Steve Sadek, the show rolls on next Tuesday. Sean Gone month continues. God, we're so disrespectful to the dead at all times.
R.I.P.D.
What are we talking about, Steve? What's the next Sean Goner?
Well, there could only be one, you understand. It's Highlander time, everybody.
Fuck yeah.
Get your punch cards ready.
Yeah, exactly. Now, of course, this should have been a WLM, but sometimes stuff happens.
Well, we should announce it's going to be an Eric solo episode.
That's right.
It's 4 hours long. We've already recorded it.
Yeah, that's right. It's boy, if you thought Zardoz's Arthur Frey's talking head at the start was something of this movie, get ready for that episode.
I'm stoked to rewatch this, dude. It's been a dog's age, and I got to tell you, I am ready for some Clancy Brown.
Yes, Christopher Lambert, which we should maybe get more into. I've watched some of his other movies. They're bad. I guess we should do them, but they're a little boring. But man, Christopher Lambert is a presence despite everything that's going on with him.
Eric, seek out a movie called Night Moves.
Oh, I have that on VHS. Yeah. Oh, dude.
The Gene Hackman movie?
No. It's a K.
Oh.
It's a chess.
Oh,
It's a chess thriller.
Wow.
Yes.
No.
Oh, he's like
Cabin.
he's like a chess master, and there's assassins after him.
Yep.
Oh my god.
no.
I watched a
No
movie. I think he's got another assassin movie called like Resurrection or something that I saw that wasn't good. But then also he had this movie called Gideon where Christopher Lambert is like, I'm an angel visiting the old folks' home.
Oh no!
And it's got I think it's got a deep cast, but it's boring and bad.
Yeah.
But
See, I mean, so because I'm very Lambert ignorant, so like if we can find the ones that are bad and entertaining, let's do a Lambert month. But I ain't talking about no angel in an old folks home. I'll tell you that much.
I don't know.
You just said it was boring.
It is, but we're not.
Oh, that's true. Oh man! So until next week with Highlander, where we definitely will not be boring. I'm Andrew Jupin.
Steven Sadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy, Zardoz.
That was a HeadGum podcast.